Hey, Coach Clemente Bonilla, CVCS Baseball here on the CVCS Baseball Podcast. Super excited for episode number 7 of our first season of the podcast. I got 2 stud guests here, 2023 alumni and CVC Athlete of the Year, Hayden Carlson, and 2024 Athlete of the Year for CVCS, and both guys were All-CIF in their years respectively, Andrew Johnson. What's up, boys?
How we doing?
What's up?
Thanks for coming out, man. This is our Christmas break edition going on right here. You guys are trickling back in from your fall college experiences, and just so glad that you come back on campus and want to hang out with me and see some of the teachers and boys, and just it's always fun to see your guys' faces around campus. Why don't you guys tell me a little bit about what's been going on? Hayden, we'll start with you. What was the last couple months like for you?
Last couple months, I'm at Saddleback JUCO, and it's been a grind, but now we're on break, and I'm glad I get to do things like this. Thank you for having us on, by the way. You know, we've been trying to get this set up for a while.
My pleasure.
But, yeah, winter break's on us right now, and we're just getting prepared for season.
Sweet. Andrew, how did your fall go?
It's been great. SC was super fun. You know, school's been great. Not too much of a change from CVCS, and baseball is awesome. The guys are great. Teams looks really good. I'm feeling good, feeling strong. So same thing, just on break, trying to get better, get ready for spring.
That's awesome. Well, I want to dive right in. So, Hayden, you are at Saddleback now. This is your second year, your sophomore campaign. After high school, you went straight to Indiana University, which is Big Ten baseball, correct?
Yep.
How was that fall leading into that first freshman season, and what were some maybe pros and cons of going out to the Midwest, and what was the difference like from high school to college?
Yeah, that fall started in the summer because I had to go out right after high school for like a summer program for our freshman class. So it was a longer fall than it was this time. But it was also like a bunch of new things. I was meeting new people, you know, finally around like the school I've been committed to for 2 years. And it was a great time. You know, the camaraderie with the team was the best. I mean, you're living with new guys just right away, just meeting them, knowing names. And yeah, if I had to like compare that to Saddleback, you know, the camaraderie's a little different, but not in a lesser and greater way, if I could say. That's kind of something I've taken out of the fall. Like, we're all super close in JUCO for sure, and we were all super close in Indiana. It's just kind of the difference of like living with your team compared to just playing with your team.
Right. That makes a big difference because most of these guys at Saddleback are probably living at home still. Mm-hmm. Where at Indiana, you're in the dorms, and then when you get out of the dorms, there's probably 3 or 4 guys that rent, you know, a home or apartment or something like that. So that's definitely a different living style. Andrew, have you found some big differences in your first few months at USC?
I would say the biggest thing, honestly, I think something that you did really well, just like personally, I'm sure with everybody else too, is prepare us for the next level. So I didn't think like the fall, like I didn't see any new like maybe practice styles. It was kind of run just how we ran it at CVCS. And like the way we travel and kind of the way we lift and stuff is kind of the same. I would say the biggest difference is probably what Hayden said, just living with them, because, you know, you're not with, especially in high school, like you literally live with these boys on campus now. Like you're in with them every day. Like you're waking up, going to class. I think it definitely gets you like a little tighter with them. Mm-hmm. And it's only been one fall, and I feel super close to these guys, so I can't wait to keep it going. But that's probably the biggest difference too.
Nice. That's cool. Those are good. I know it's been 25 years almost since I was in college as a freshman, but one of the differences I remember was laundry and living in the dorms and trying to get down there. And sometimes they were already packed, and then I didn't want to wait. And so it was like, I'll just run to Walmart and pick up like, you know, a few new packs of boxers and whatever. And then I got in a habit of that. And then all of a sudden it's been like 8 weeks, and I'm like, I have a mountain of laundry. I'd have to be in the laundromat all day because I just had way too much clothes, which is something I learned, like, just do your laundry, right? Like, do it, you know, every week or whatever. Just, it makes it easier. But those are fun little things that, you know, you just kind of learn as you're going. And at the same time, you're competing with some of the best talent you've probably ever been around. So you're learning how to live away from your family, making, you know, trips to the store to get food and cook and then laundry, and also maintaining the schoolwork. Let's not forget about that. It's academics, right, first.
Yep.
But then baseball's a job. I mean, it's basically a full-time job, right? Why don't you guys both, and just answer how it goes. It could just be kind of organic, but how has that, because I like how Andrew said, thank you, by the way, for saying that, I prepared you guys pretty well, but at the same time, we still had limitations.
Yeah.
And now it's really like a full-time job. Now you got the weights in the mornings, you got class, then you got 4-hour practices, I'm assuming, and then you probably have team meetings, there's hitters meetings, pitchers meetings. So it's just so much more of your day is spent on preparing for the season. Has that grind hit you guys in a way that was different than you thought, or have you guys really just dug into this job kind of scenario and just running with it, feeling good about it? Tell me how your feelings are with baseball being now like a job.
Yeah, something I really honed in on was I treated college baseball more like a job. Yeah, it was it was way more professional. It's a totally different game too. Like the speed of the game's different, so you got to be super locked in pretty much at all times. You got to be able to balance all those things: schoolwork, baseball. Then you got to get bigger. There's just a bunch of different things you got to kind of take in that you didn't at high school. So all the things were pretty much the same in high school. It's just kind of more of an upgrade, I would say. And you're on your own, not at home. Yeah.
I would say the biggest difference, I guess, kind of to put it two together, is that with high school, I was a guy, I'm a morning person, so I lift before school anyway in high school. But from when I was in high school, I was probably busy from 6 a.m. to maybe 6:30, and I'm busy to the same time, but instead of 8 hours of class in high school, I only have 2 hours, and that time's filled up with baseball. So it's like typical day SC, lift at 6, breakfast at 7, class from 8 to 12, practice from 2:30 to 6:30, team meeting, you're not done till 8. I think more of the time just covered up by baseball rather than school. And I think it's been a blast so far, but I also think that's something that a lot of guys don't think is I honestly didn't know that classes were going to be this limited time. I feel like I have way less class than I did when I was in high school, being here for 8 hours a day, and now you're just doing maybe even on some days an hour of class a day.
That's a really good point, Andrew. What about the level of just athletic people that you're around now? For example, when you were a sophomore here and Hayden was a junior, Hayden was going off first team All-CIF, guy was just barreling everything. You could just tell there was something about Hayden that was going to, he was going to be different.
Yeah.
Then you get to USC and basically your whole roster is going to be guys that were like that in high school, right? I mean, pretty much anyone that's an offensive player at USC was probably one of their best, if not best, hitters at their high school.
Yeah.
And now you're maneuvering through pitching in inter squads and scrimmages through those kind of things. Has that been a big difference, or has it actually been less than you thought? What is that like?
I think on the, like you said, I think some of you said always too is every guy that plays in college or plays in the bigs is probably Hall of Fame at his high school jerseys retired. And I think that's something different too. The infielders, definitely. If you were looking at a guy in high school, an infielder that I thought was super athletic was Hayden. And now every dude in the infield is athletic and just like that. I think something that's a little different is the pitchers aren't as much as I thought it would be. They are more athletic to a standard, and like Caden said, kind of everything's just an upgrade. But I found myself I try to talk to the infielders a lot, just try to stay athletic, especially with the drills, play catch with them and stuff. I think just coming off the mound and stuff, that makes you a lot more versatile, and I think gives the coaches a little bit more trust too. So with the infield and staying athletic, I think that would be the biggest difference.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Hayden, with you, the arms, are the arms just way more explosive than you remember from high school, and how have you been able to navigate that?
Yeah, the arms were definitely, the velo's definitely up there, but biggest thing to me, I think, was the off speed and the velo with that. But also, kind of to go off what Drew was saying, something I noticed too is everyone there, especially the Big Ten level, or everyone's there to get to the next level, pretty much. High school, yeah, everyone's in it, but there's some kids that are kind of looking at multiple things. But I mean, everyone's focused towards one goal at a high level D1 like that. So I think that really helps you kind of even stay more locked in and just want it more and just keep on grinding. So it kind of helps you push throughout the day too, especially with a packed schedule like Drew was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, the velocity, I thought that was a good point. So the velocity of a fastball, not that in high school we had pretty good schedules and we would run into some dudes throwing gas. We'll get back to the amazing playoff game in 2023 where every pitcher that threw in that game was throwing 90 plus. But yeah, so the velocity of a fastball, it's it's surprising to you when you're young and you see 90 or 92 for the first time. But then, of course, you get to college and like every arm that's right-handed is probably throwing low to mid-90s. And you kind of get used to it. Like at some point, right, you're just like,
sure,
hey,
yeah.
92 to 95, I get it. But the command and the velocity of the breaking ball is such a big difference because now you're seeing, even in high school, some of the guys haven't learned to command that breaking ball quite yet or snap it off the way they want with the shape and the intent and the depth. And so you're getting a high school fastball that's way above average, but their rest of their game is not quite caught up yet. You get to big-time baseball like where you were at and where you're at now, they just have a little bit more understanding of how to shape that breaking ball. And now that 77 to 80 slider is now 83, 84, and they're pinpointing it where they want it. Maybe it's really getting to that back foot on a lefty. And so how have you tried to train your mind to recognize that, to be on time on the fastball, but then to also recognize and identify some of that nasty breaking balls that are coming from pitchers like Andrew?
No, yeah, the thing kind of how you were saying, it's kind of like the game inside the game. Like pitchers are pitching out there. So, yeah, different approaches are going to happen. But, yeah, always stay on the fastball, first of all. It's always what I've learned. And then with shapes of breaking balls, maybe it has a pop in it, or maybe it does something where you can recognize it and read it up or something. But guys like Drew or Hunter Long that's coming on, just like they did a super good job at hey, they'll throw a fastball down and away, and then they'll throw a slider that starts down and away, looks like that fastball. So it's also kind of just about trusting your instincts. I mean, baseball's a hard game. Trusting your instincts is going to be huge. And, yeah, kind of just stay on that fastball is kind of the best thing you can do at that point.
And you young hitters that are listening, we do these podcasts so that our current high school guys can listen to past pros, past college, alumni. Some are not alumni, but just the understanding of you guys having a little bit more life experience now in the game. And it's different. I could say to you guys all day long, and I know you trust me and understand I've been there, but it's one of those things where you don't really know until you know.
Yeah,
right. For sure.
You don't fully know until you know. And then hopefully something I've said just kind of marinates in the back of your head, and then it's like, oh, yeah, Chach said that. Now I get it. Now I know. And staying on the fastball is such a big deal. I think, you could always, if you're on time and our swings are designed to swing at strikes. So,
right.
I mean, if we're on time for a ball that's in the zone and then they, break that pitch off a little bit, change the shape of it, and we feel, like you said, trust your instincts. You could hopefully you could see something in that, like you said, a little like nickel or dime on the axis that you kind of read. But sometimes you don't, and it looks like it's a low and away fastball, but your instincts tell you something's happening. My body's leaking away. My upper body's going forward, and I have to just lay off and just trust it's going to sink down below my knees. And those are things where, and if you do have to one-hand wand it like a magic wand, you could still maybe barrel it up the middle, even though, because your hand stayed back enough. And that takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of trust in your instincts. Andrew, now on the flip side of that, you're trying to get guys who have those approaches and trust their instincts to basically discombobulate them.
Yeah.
And what have you started to figure out facing? And again, I know it's a small sample size right now in your fall, but I've heard nothing but great things for you coming out of the fall so far. You had a couple great inter-squad outings, and then you threw those scrimmages. Pepperdine was one of them. And it just seems like you really hit the ground running going into your freshman year. How did you feel you were able to maybe shape that breaking ball with depth and in certain counts to get these hitters to be off balance?
I think the biggest thing is in high school we were taught definitely like sequencing and what guys look for when we used to watch those videos of like Musina back in the day and stuff. I think the biggest thing we've worked on as a group of pitchers with our new pitching coach, Sean, is like just being able to read bodies and read swings. Like you kind of said, like maybe on a slider, like you're feeling discombobulated, like you said, like trust your instincts and you maybe just let it sink down, like you feel yourself drifting. Like on the flip side as a pitcher, like I throw that thing and I see you drifting and I can like recognize that. That's the biggest thing. Like after you throw it, like just because you throw the pitch, like your job's not done. You know what I mean? Like your job now is to read the guy and then obviously make a play if it's in play. But I think the biggest thing for us as a group would be like that was kind of a main point on our fall emphasis was reading like swings, obviously, but then also just reading body language outside of if you throw a strike or not.
That's awesome. Those are some good things. And then we're now getting out of the fall. Like this is where Andrew hasn't had that chance yet, but maybe something you even hear stated in this podcast from Hayden. What was the difference from your first fall, kind of soaking in all the whole new college life plus the skill set stuff on the field, to all of a sudden opening day? Who did Indiana open with your freshman year?
Duke. It was
Duke.
Yeah.
So did you feel a difference from the fall to the spring?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone's so hyped to be out there. And we played Duke at a tournament at Coastal Carolina. So it was like a so it was Coastal Carolina, Duke, Indiana, and then George Mason, I believe. And, I mean, right when you, like, show up, it's just like the energy is crazy. There's thousands of fans. You're in Florida. So, yeah, I mean, just the energy was crazy. And then comparing it to this, we haven't got there yet, but it's already starting to rile up. You know, every college does this, like, Hell Week thing. And that's kind of like, you know, it'll build camaraderie with your team, but then once you finish that, it's like, all right, now it's go time. Like, it's season time. It's time to work together back as a team and just crush kids. Yeah.
Well, and that's awesome, and that's why as coaches, you know, every coach tries to set some sort of standard that builds game-like scenarios. The intensity. We can't always put 1,000 people in the stands, but, you know, like the Steak and Beans series where the guys are drafting each other.
Yeah.
And I know colleges do the same thing. They have their Gold Navy series or their Cardinal Gray series or whatever they call it at their individual institutions or organizations. But what we're trying to do is create the competitive intensity, the environment, because there's nothing like it when you first get there, that opening day. And so, Andrew, with you haven't experiencing that yet, the thing that I could tell you, though, and that you've heard lots of times, is even Hayden said it, like trust, right?
Yeah.
That big word. Like all of a sudden you might be opening up some big school and there's going to be 5,000 people in the stands, a little bigger than you've used to, and you might be facing some university that has 2 or 3 of their first 5 hitters projected to go in the first 5 rounds of the draft and maybe the number 1 pick overall, like things like that, where you're like, oh man, like this can get real big on you real fast. And then you have to just remember to trust, like the work, what got you here, the training, the process, and just narrow your mind back down, tunnel it back down. And then you realize, hey, you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, Hayden, but at Duke and at this tournament you're playing Duke, the bases were still 90 feet.
Yeah.
Pitchers are still throwing from 60 feet, 6 inches.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed. Like, they got to get ahead.
Yeah.
You got to get a pitch to hit. Like, it was crazy. We had Skip Schumacher on a few episodes ago, and I'm sure most of you guys know Skip Schumacher was on episode 3. He was the National League Manager of the Year for the Marlins in 2023. After an 11-year big league career, has been making a name for himself in the coaching world. He's now the special assistant to the general manager for the Texas Rangers. Just one of the best baseball minds you could find in the entire country. And one of the things he said was that, first of all, there's analytics that show major league pitchers will miss their spot, their potential spot that they're trying to hit by 6 to 8 inches. And he was saying that could be, if they're trying to throw on the outside half, that could be 6 to 8 inches sometimes off the plate, so it's a no-brainer take. But sometimes it's 6 to 8 inches back towards the middle of the plate. Yeah. And that's what's so crazy is that, and that's major leagues. So no matter how big the environment is at the NCAA level, you got to remember these are still kids who haven't played any pro ball yet. Yes, they're the best players that came out of their high schools, but they're all just trying to figure this out too. They're all trying to navigate and maneuver through all these crazy feelings and new experiences that you know what? It's the same thing, man. And so basically it's just who's gonna get over it quicker? Yeah. Who's gonna make the game feel a little bit more normalized?
Exactly.
Right?
For sure.
And that's just so exciting, man. I just love that. I love having you guys back. Saddleback now, so I know it's different from when I was in college where the roles were different with NCAA. It wasn't as easy to transfer as it is now. There wasn't the portal yet. And even the mentality of being able to just transfer to schools and try to better your situation from year in, year out. It's a little bit different. The NIL money that comes into play now. College baseball more than ever is becoming more business-like. I mean, it's almost professional-like, independent minor leagues now for the big colleges, especially the Power Fives. So Hayden, your experience in Indiana was really a good one. I talked to you on the phone several times, and you were just so stoked about soaking in that environment and that experience. It came towards the middle end of your season, and you realized that you weren't getting the opportunities you were hoping to, that you fought hard to earn some, and then your exit meeting didn't go as well as you hoped. Like, what led to you entering the portal? What was that experience like? Tell us just a little bit more about that whole experience of transferring and how that looks for somebody who might be going through that same thing in the future. You could help them go through that a little bit easier.
Yeah, once like the middle of the season came around, and I didn't realize I was kind of doing what I wanted to do or have an effect on the team is kind of how I wanted to. Well, first I want to like say how well the team helped me out through that. Like, we're all still together. You know, I'm on the bench. I'm learning the game still. Like, I'm locked in. I'm still loving the game, seeing everything I can learn. And, when the exit meetings came around, you know, it was a pretty mutual thing. I had nothing bad about Indiana. I loved it. Everything was great. You know, I was a couple hits away from being in that lineup, and, you know, I also got better that year. So it was a great experience. But, hitting the portal, I mean, it was the first, like, big year of the portal. I think there was, like, what was it, like 6,000?
6,000.
Something.
Yeah.
And that was early, too. It was 6,000 super early. But it was pretty hectic. You know, I was playing summer ball, too, out in Massachusetts, and you got a bunch of coaches calling you because everyone's kind of discovering this portal thing, and a lot of people like athletic shortstops. So you're pretty busy. But it was a great experience, too. You know, the recruiting in high school was honestly, like, it was a fun time. I liked the recruiting process in high school, and so you kind of got to go all over that again, and you also have a better understanding this time of what you're getting into. You know what questions to ask more. So, yeah, it's kind of just like...
Well, it seemed like it was even more aggressive for you than it was in high school.
Oh, yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
But then ultimately you chose to come back to Saddleback Junior College. So what was that decision process like? Did you make that decision on your own? Did your family, did you have confidants that helped you with it? How did that come about?
Yeah, the portal was good. It was super intense, but, you know, Saddleback, it's a great program. They won state last year. We have an insane squad this year. So kind of and it was back home. So kind of all those things just made sense to kind of have a reset year, get the swing dialed. And so, I ultimately made that decision. But obviously my family had some effect in that and telling me what they think I should do. And I think it's all working out pretty well. You know, I'm loving it. And, so it's a good experience.
Get yourself redialed in. Plus, you never can go wrong learning some baseball from Summer McCartney.
Right.
He's one of the best baseball minds around, one of the best junior college coaches in the country, and a good friend of mine. I hope to have him on this podcast actually next month. Yeah. Try to get him on here. And then you're also back with some of the boys, man. Like there's 3 or 4 CVC guys on the squad. Just battling out. Bush was on the state championship team last year. Jake Bouchane, the one and only. And then you have, Keppel, one of our former lefty studs. That was on the 2022 campaign that we were in, and part of that 2021 game, exciting game that we had in the quarterfinals there, and the second round especially. You also have Hunter Long, who just kind of went through something similar, left Michigan State to come back home and get redialed in on the mound. So what is it like to be back with some of the boys that you played high school ball with?
It's great. Jake Bouchane, you know, we both hit with the same guy now, kind of, is Dan Cousett, you know, great guy. And so both of us hitting with him is actually helping us tremendously together. We're in the cage every day. We know what we're talking about with what we're both trying to accomplish. And so that's kind of a huge perk also from coming back from Indiana is I get to work with my boys. And Kep, Hunt, you know, they're throwing great this year. Like, they're going to have a good effect on our team. And so it's all working out well. And we also know, like, we're at a higher level, and this is kind of what we got to go through to get to that next level. And we're all rooting for each other, too. So, you know, you just got those.
Did you find that hitting with Bush, like a good buddy of yours, and finding a good hitting guy that you could connect with, like, are you guys hitting with a purpose every day? Like, what kind of things are you working on? Is it the same thing? Is it just the same routine, or are there new things that you work on each time? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, obviously it'll vary. I'd say it vary more to like week to week what we're working on. So what we're trying to accomplish is it's more kind of swing dialed. So, we'll crank up the machine, maybe curveballs, maybe fastballs, or we also have this wiffle ball machine, Max BP. It's great. It's good for hand-eye coordination. And so, kind of weekly we'll focus on different things. Like it could be keeping your hands back or on getting full on an off-speed pitch or something like that. And so, us just working together really helps us think, and we can talk our thoughts out and kind of just get down to the wire of what we need to do.
Well, and I love that because at least there's always a purpose. It's purpose-driven, and there's someone with you that holds you accountable to that.
Yeah.
Andrew, how have you found, like when you're now in this first little winter break before you get back, like who are you going to kind of count on to get together with and hold yourself accountable, hold them accountable, and prepare? Because that's the one interesting thing about college baseball that's a little bit different than the rules were a little different when I was in college. So we reported back way early. I mean, we were the only ones on campus for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But now they give you guys the full month, like where you don't come back until pretty much the regular student body comes back, which I think I love overall. But it also puts a lot more trust and faith and independence into you guys just working on your craft on your own, because coaches aren't going to be babysitting you during Christmas break. So what is your plan to just prepare to come in dialed in for the spring?
Yeah, lifting wise, I lift in Costa Mesa with Josh Wright, and that was kind of one of those things too where I got done with I think we ended on the 6th, and I drove home. I keep my car up there, so I drove home, and I got home at 11:30 that night, and I was in the gym next morning at 6 a.m. And I think it was just like one of those biggest things for me is just like with how my fall went, I just got, especially after my eggs meeting, I just got like extremely motivated. Kind of what you said, let's like these guys, they put their pants one leg on at a time. Like they're just as good as me or just the same as me. And like I think the winter break, like you said, like the month off, it kind of gives maybe, especially with the coaches too, like a little bit of a gap to see like who really is going to work their butt off over this break and who's going to come back ready. And that was kind of a motivation for me. But the plan would be, especially through travel ball, just meeting a lot of guys. I threw with a guy yesterday who's from Mater Days at UCLA now. I'll throw with Hunter sometimes. I called Kep a couple of times, just guys we've met throughout the years and stuff like that to throw. But that's just kind of the biggest thing. The plan is just don't even take your foot off the gas. Like this isn't a break. It's honestly more of a grind right now. Yeah.
I love that answer. And it's just so fun to hear you guys talk and just to see, the future's so bright for you guys at this age. And like, I'm sure you guys are all excited to see Josh Randall get drafted in the third round.
Yeah.
And it's exciting because you have an alumni who may have been a freshman or you would have been freshmen maybe when they were seniors, stuff like that. So you're like excited for somebody who's like one of your boys that you were in a program with together, even if it was just for 1 year, or even if you missed them, like if you were in 8th grade or whatnot. It's still just exciting to see a successful former alumni of CVCS. But then too, it kind of gives you guys that like true magic. Like there's it's real. Like there's hope. Like Josh Randall, he worked his butt off and he's a talented guy. But same thing, he had to put his pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah.
Like you guys can get there. It really is something that is, you can make this journey the way that you want it. You can create it a little bit, and a lot of that is going to be, I wish I could tell you there was a magic pill or magic formula, but there really isn't. Like, it's just good old-fashioned,
it's called work.
Get after it,
Yep.
And if you want to be that, like, all JUCO California State, player of the year kind of guy, like, you got to just put in the work. And if you want to be a freshman All-American and see the field, like, you got to put in the work. And when you get those opportunities, some of it's a little bit, like, sometimes a little bit of luck, but it's not like luck in the sense that what I think in a secular world, what people think, it's more a God thing, where the opportunities, he's going to create them for you when he feels you're ready. And like most of us know, like, I can't just pray, hey, God, please let me strike out 10 guys a day and just sit on your butt. Like, you got to ask him to give you that work ethic to prepare you so that when he feels the opportunity is now, you're ready for it.
Yeah.
And then you shine. And then all of a sudden you get more opportunities and more opportunities. And then people are like, wow, this guy's a consistent, he's just dog out there. Like, we got to take this guy real serious. Like, this might be a draft.
Yeah.
And so I think that you guys both are on that path. And I'm just really excited that you're close to home too, so I can go watch some Saddleback games. I want to see all my boys there. And then I know USC still has another year before their stadium's complete, their complex. So you're going to be at the
Great Park
in Irvine. So I plan to definitely try to catch some games, especially if you're a weeknight, getting in there on Tuesdays or whatnot. It's going to be super exciting. So let's get back to high school. All right. Totally excited for you guys in college, and we're going to watch and move forward. But I want to just get your take a little bit on the high school experience in general. What was the start of it for you? Like, maybe why don't you guys, and either one of you can just jump in whenever you want, but like maybe your first varsity appearance or at bat or something, like a moment where you're like, man, I'm on this varsity team and I'm ready to grind. And then just kind of like we can kind of just move on from there.
I can take this one first. My high school experience, honestly, I think was 100% amazing and what I needed. Like hanging out with dudes like Fish and Boosh and those older guys, I think the main thing that made high school so fun for me was being on varsity that sophomore and junior year with these older guys. They really just took you under your wing, and they could probably say it for the older guys above them too. They just took you under your wing, and I think a moment for me was probably Steak and Beans sophomore year. Like, we just brought that energy, and those guys, I would die for any of those guys on any of those teams. Like, I would go to war for any of those guys. And I think that's just really what made it fun is those years, we were having fun, and that's what made us so good, I think. We weren't trying to be good and then having fun. Like, we were having fun first, and it just came because we were dogs, and we just worked. And I think that was probably the best, like, high school baseball. I would not change one single thing I did, high school baseball experience.
That's so cool to hear, man. I love that. What was your first varsity start? Do you remember?
I think against Southlands Christian. Again, at Southlands Christian, portable mound. I was wearing 2 different cleats because they're the rules. Though that was just show up dog it out.
Was that your sophomore year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then your junior and senior year, you got the ball on day one, right?
Yes. I think Irvine junior year, and then senior year was El Toro.
El Toro High
that was
School.
a good one. Yeah.
And then Hayden, what about you? Do you remember your first? You had to sit, right? Was there a sitting period for you because you came in sophomore year? Mm-hmm. So I can't remember this. I don't know. Do you remember who your first eligible day was? You were in the starting lineup the first day you're eligible.
Yeah. Well, I had that sit-out period, and I think it was 30 days or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So it was just me, Keppel, and Randy on the white table just doing our notes and just kind of getting the team some information. And we went on a 9-game losing streak, the Pizza Talk days. I remember those days.
That.
Yeah, and then it was the next week I got to get my first start at Corona Del Mar, and I think I struck out 3 times, but it was I mean, I had so much fun finally being on the field again. But yeah, I mean, me and Drew talk about it all the time. We always make some crazy CVCS lineup, the OG Owen Kerr's in the leadoff spot for sure. Yeah. And so yeah, we're always talking about it. It was a great time. You can go back to the Warren game. It's the best game in history ever of baseball.
Yeah, you hit a bomb in between Owen's bombs. You hit 2 of them.
Owen hit 2. I hit 1, and they were the best. They were the 1 seed of that year.
Yeah, that was crazy. Shout out to Owen Kerrs. Just got engaged to Noel Rutz.
Well,
yeah, a little clap for him. Yeah, so that guy he shows up to an alumni game and just turns around a 91 fastball on Andrew Johnson. He's like, USC what? He just went leaning at left center, 2 ribs.
Bro.
I believe it.
Owen Kerrs just barrels balls.
Yeah.
So that's funny that I forgot. So that was Pizza Talk Day. We got no hit by a freshman lefty for Corona.
Yeah.
Who, unbeknownst to me, turned out to be a draft pick his senior year. I think he won the first couple rounds, so he was obviously legit. But I remember I just wanted to convey the hustle and the passion for going after somebody in a rundown.
Oh yeah,
that's what it was.
You approached it perfectly. I mean, that was the best.
I dove onto some pizzas, if I remember. Yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah. So and that's good. I mean, those are things where I bet you'll never mess up a rundown and where you're at now. So the Warren game, that was super exciting. I remember that like it was yesterday. And then the one that's most recent that I remember like yesterday was the 2023 second round game. Andrew starts it. We had heard, Aquinas High School was number one in Division II. I actually had spoken to OC Registrar Steve Fryer on the phone prior to that day, and he said that might have been the best high school team he's seen the entire year that year for any divisions.
I think they're number 7 in California overall, including D1.
Yeah, they had a bunch of D1 commits. They had a guy that was supposed to go in the first couple of rounds, which I think he did go in the second or third round. And it was just like a crazy stacked lineup. But I also don't think we sort of came out of nowhere and people were like, whoa, CVCS is legit. And we started making a name for ourselves towards the second half of that year as well. And so I think the guys on the team knew we weren't afraid of Aquinas. But they were legit. And it was just awesome to see Andrew start that game and go the full bank. I mean, you went 109 pitches or 10 pitches, whatever the bank was, you went the whole time. I think it was 6 2/3. Why don't you tell me a little bit about, that was your junior year. We heard the hype about this team, but how did you approach starting that game? Was it different or the same?
I think starting it, honestly, something that I don't think a lot of people know is Hunter obviously started the first round, and going into Aquinas, like we said, talking up the number 1 seed, I honestly remember people saying, I wish we had Hunter available. I wish we could have Hunter. I would rather have Hunter starting this game. And honestly, I just took that to heart, and I was just ready to go. I was not letting anybody stop me. I don't care if you were going in the first round. I don't care if you just were a freshman that got called up. I was K'ing you on 3 pitches that day. I did not care at all. And it was just so fun because I think, too, I think the reason that game was so fun is just the energy. We fed off each other's energy so much, and there was a little bit of smack talk too. That always makes it more fun. I think that definitely enhanced the level of play that day. And but going up to the start, preparing for it, I didn't. While I did take that those comments to heart and stuff like that, I don't think I prepared more of as I have to do good this day. This is a different start. This is a different game. Let me just do me. My routine works. I know me. Let me do me. And that was kind of how I approached it.
That was awesome. Because I think Hunter that year it was Hunter's senior year, your junior year. Not that he was probably one of the top draftable prospects of that class in California, but from the standpoint in terms of success that he had in the state of California,
crazy.
He was probably the top 3 pitchers in all of the state that year. And it was just a phenomenal year. And I remember you, about halfway through your junior year, you came to my office because you felt at that point you had a better sophomore campaign than your junior campaign.
Yeah.
And you were kind of like, what's going on with me? I should be doing better than I am. And I think we had to recalibrate your mind a little bit. And it was the perfect time. I'm so glad that you came to me to talk about it, and I'm so glad we had a chance to converse about it because you really did have some really quality starts a couple times going into those playoffs, and I think it really brought you back to, hey, I do things well. I don't need to be Hunter. I don't need to be anybody. I just need to be me. And you just went out there and prepared and threw the most beautiful game that I had ever seen, in 19 years of coaching. And just to come out of that tied 1-1, and then Hunter goes in and he dogs it up like he'd been all year. And all of a sudden we find ourselves in a 1-1 game going into the 12th inning, right? That was just incredible. Hayden, what do you remember about that game?
What I remember is going 0 for 6.
Oh, no.
But, I remember the school showing out, me going 0 for 6, but I also remember making some clutch defensive plays. I remember I had a backhand in the hole that the day before I was working on it at practice, and I kept missing it. I just couldn't get it down, and then I wouldn't leave till I got it. And so DJ was hitting me hit me 50 of the same type of ground ball,
Nice.
and it was just tough. And then in the game, I got the same ball, and I made the play for the second out with runner on third. That's what I'm taking away from that game. So it was on a big stage, and I didn't perform how I wanted to at the plate, but I got our team in a good position too. I did what I could do for that day. And
that's what's beautiful about being a baseball player, especially a middle infielder. Even if you don't have it with the bat that day, you're definitely going to get some opportunities to help the team in the field. And that whole year was one of the best defensive showings I've seen from a shortstop. I mean, you really locked in your defense that year, which I only hear it just continues to grow from there. People that I talk to in the baseball world tell me that you are just a stud shortstop, all the skill sets to be draftable. So it's nothing that surprises me because I saw it early and knew even way back when you were a sophomore that you were going to have that kind of talent and challenge yourself to be that good. And I love how you just said, one of the coaches, DJ, was hitting you 50 ground balls of that same exact. That is, boys that are listening, that is what the definition of a dog and approaching your craft. If you want to be really good at something, you're not good at it, you just do it and do it and do it again and do it again until you just figure out a way to master that craft. And there's no magic pill like we talked about. If you feel like your open hand to your left is weak or you feel like your backhand to your right is weak, then you got to just take so many dang ground balls until it just feels like it's routine. And then you just do every ground ball like that. I mean, if there's choppers on the run, like you just got to master every single thing. And it's like, hey, sometimes you got to do 2 full buckets in a row of the same exact thing. It's even boring.
Yeah.
Like people are going to think that's boring, but nah, it's not boring if I look at it over the long haul.
Yeah.
I'm trying to play in the big leagues one day. Like that's not going to be boring when I'm 26, trying to sign a major league long-term contract. So it's exciting to hear you guys talk like that. And then I know that game went into I think it was the 12th or the 13th inning, and we ended up giving up 2 runs in the top. And I thought, oh, man, and every pitcher, Aquinas, they just kept matching us. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was 20. We struck out 21 times as a team on our side, but we struck them out 28 times as a team.
Yeah.
So that was what's nuts. There was 49 strikeouts combined in that game. It's like every pitcher was just throwing gas and nasty, and so it was just crazy. But finally, I think we had a defensive mistake with the first and third falling down priority thing, and we threw it down. They snuck another run in there. So all of a sudden we're down 3-1. But then again, never give up on that team. We dogged it up, had bases loaded, nobody out, and we were 2 different batters could walk off the game for us, and it just didn't happen. In fact, now I didn't know that Hayden was 0 for 6 on the day, but I do remember you hit that fair. You barreled it pretty good, but just kind of got on the top half of the ball, hit a hard ground ball to shortstop to end the season.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want anyone up different than those 3 guys that were up when we went 1, 2, 3 after we got the bases loaded down by 2 in the top of the 12th or 13th inning, our bottom. What a fun memory, and you guys are going to create more fun memories once you get into these college regionals and super regionals and just making that run. I know I hear nothing but great things about USC and what they're trying to do over there, and of course I've known Summer for a long time and his staff, and you guys are going to just find yourself in big games, and they're going to be bigger and better and intenser games than what you experienced in high school because of where you are, where your feet are at in that moment, NCAA or JUCO. But at the same time, those moments from CIF are going to still be in your mind and prepare you and keep you looser and keep you normalize those experiences so that you're not overwhelmed, because we were able to create those in high school, which is really exciting. So we're getting a little bit closer to the end here, and I want to just kind of run through some CVC questions for you guys. We're gonna do it. We're gonna fire it off like kind of like a game, like a contest. Right. And who knows the answer first, just fire it off. And then if it's a tie, there's no official judge. I'll just be like, oh, it sounds like a tie. But I could pretty much tell who answers first. Okay, so let me get to my notes here. Well crafted notes. Okay. Question 1. What is the center field dimension of Hausdorfer?
356 feet.
Incorrect.
384.
It was 375. So
no.
I don't know. Should we give it to Andrew because he's closer, or just neither one of you got it? I think neither one of you got it. No point.
I swear it's 356 feet. Did we measure it recently?
It's 374 actually.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
Here we go. So you missed it by 20. Next one. CVCS CFO runs the business office.
Barbara Schaffner.
Oh, that was tough. That was tough for Andrew. Well, let's just say why would that one be so easy for Andrew?
That is my grandma.
Andrew's grandma has been at CBC way longer than I've been here. This is my 19th year, but she's so awesome. She runs the school, keeps us in the green with the books, and also is one of the tallest women I know, which also helped at Andrew's height since he's like 6'3". So here we go. Next question. So Andrew's up 1-0. Okay. Longest tenured teacher or staff on CVCS?
Dr. Gahn. Or no, Mr. Easter.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
No, you said Dr. Gahn and you're incorrect?
Mr. Easter.
He takes Mr. Easter. Good try. Dr. Gahn is second.
Yeah.
But Don Easter has been here longest.
Let's go.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
Here we go. Tie game. We'll go first to 3 here, so it's 1-1. What year was the first CIF baseball championship won?
2014.
I think Hayden got it.
Did you say 15?
Yeah.
Hayden got it.
14.
2014.
Yeah.
2014. Hayden got it.
Let's go.
All right, that's 2. Okay. with that same theme, CIF Championship 2014, what team did we play?
Ooh. Oh, wait. I feel like I know this.
I think I might know
I've heard
it
AJ
too.
yap about this.
Yeah,
before.
AJ's definitely said something.
AJ has told you many of time the legend of the no-hitter. Who was the team that he threw that against?
It's someone that we know. It's not like a random one.
No, yeah.
They've turned into a good program. Just like how CVC continued to grow, this team grew even more than us.
Crow Del Mar?
Incorrect.
Ooh. I don't really have a team in mind right now. I'm thinking, you can keep firing shots so I can get ideas.
All right, we don't want a lot of dead air, so
Yeah.
time's up. Sierra Canyon High School.
Oh, dang. That's a
Maybe I
good
should
one.
have I should have turned that into a ABC. I should have
Yeah.
gave you guys some
Yeah.
options there. All right, well it's 2-1 though. 2-1. Okay. All right, I'll just do this. You fire out true or false.
All right.
Same theme we've been on. You guys just learned we faced Sierra Canyon. AJ threw a no-hitter. 2014 CIF Championship. True or false? That was the first athletic CIF championship in school history.
True.
False.
Hayden got it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was the first men's athletic, but 1992
That's what
volleyball CIF girls won it.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why I said
Yeah.
false.
Yeah. For
so
sure.
I said athletics, first ever athletics. I knew someone was going to catch. So you're correct if I said first boys ever, but girls the one in the early 90s they won volleyball. So Hayden wins 3-1.
Let's go.
Awesome. We'll have to arrange for you to come back and get a free lunch or breakfast at the Eagles Kitchen.
Yeah.
And while we're on that theme, Chef Baird, father of a great alumni, Dylan Baird, who was here in 2016 and one of our aces on the mound back then. I wanted to ask you guys as we're wrapping up, what's one of your favorite Eagle Kitchen meals?
All the sausage breakfast burritos.
Yeah, breakfast burritos got to be it. Yeah,
So-
for
You
sure.
have to have the taco spicy sauce, though, on them. And you have to get 2 halves.
Nice. yeah, they did do halves, right? So you know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. That was really funny. That was really great. Okay, guys. Hey, well, listen, that ends our time. I want to say again that I'm just so proud of you guys and thankful that you're in my life. I'm thankful that you guys played baseball here and that you come back and join this podcast. And I know your parents are always going to be your biggest fans, but you guys have the second biggest fan in Coach Bonilla and just rooting on your guys' careers to make it hopefully all the way to the big leagues.
Yeah, thank you.
And I appreciate you. You know, we talked about defense and how that's one of my strong suits, and I give full credit to you for sure. You know, nipple to knee, that's all I preach.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Get
on
that
the
chest
flip,
low.
I've known you since I think we had that. Like, what do we do? You worked me out when I was 11 years
Right
old
here
or
on
10
the
years old,
CVC
right here.
turf.
So yeah, man, everything we've been through, all that, I owe to you. Appreciate you so much.
Thanks, guys. All right, well, enjoy your Christmas, and we will see you on the flip side, 2025.
This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK through 12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening and stay tuned for more.